Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started here, starting with some toothpaste. Toothpaste, this pepperminty goodness, is really good for the face, good for the complexion, forehead. We even work some down on our chin, avoiding our beauty mark, of course. Oops, spinach for lunch. Should have saved some of that toothpaste to clean my teeth. Now we're spraying some ionized water. This really moisturizes before we start applying the first layer. Every house needs a foundation. Apply a little bit of the ionized water to the sponge, and then we start working in this orangey glow upon which all other layers will be built. Now that I have kind of an orangey base, I begin working on layer 2. Now this stuff is really powerful. You only apply a drop to one ring finger. You rub 2 ring fingers together. Careful not to use your pinky, your pointer, or your birdie finger. You apply only with the ring fingers under the eye, a little bit on the chin, again avoiding the beauty mark, each side of the nostril, the center of the forehead, sides of the eyes. Now, we've carefully worked it all in, and we move on to white paint. The white paint we apply under the eye. We are careful to apply with a horsehair brush, a little over the eye, under the eye, the other eye, and beside the nostril. Most girls that do their makeup forget each side of the nostril and how important that is. We do not want any reflections coming from the sides of the nostril. We now open the hockey puck and apply with a swirling motion to the neck, both cheeks. This is a blending formula. It's quite toxic. You do not use your hands, only the brush. Now we move on to, this really expensive makeup. It comes in a solid gold container, and we only use a little bit of this because it's so expensive to replace. But I rub this in each cheekbone, giving the look of a little bit of a shadow beneath, on the forehead, the widow's peak, each side, a little bit on the other side, and voila, there we go. Now we have a little bit of color highlights, a little on the side of the nose. Again, I mentioned before, nostrils are important. Now we move on to this small container, and we highlight the cheekbone. This is for ultraviolet blue light, so you can go inside, outside, it doesn't really matter, you still look beautiful. Now, quick kiss and move on to this. Now, this is a fancy brush. This is called a fan brush, or a rooster tail for short. This applies just a little bit of glint on top of the cheekbones. So when you do that profile look, get a little sparkle, get rid of the mustache, always get rid of the mustache. Now we move on to, back to the gold, a little bit more of the expensive stuff. So don't use this like on a camping trip. This is for a really nice night out, okay? Now this goes over the eye, and it's like football players wear that black stuff under their eye. Beautiful girls wear this stuff over their eye. So we apply carefully with a smaller brush, rub it in, and you can see the different layers as it builds up. We're on layer 3 or 4 now. So we're building the face on top of the face, on top of the face, on top of the face. So now we are carefully moving on to the brow. Now this apparatus here is a hair implanting device. And we just got the hairs in. Now, those hairs we just implanted, we're going to darken up a little bit with a Sharpie. And the Sharpie brings out a little bit of that dark goodness in the eyebrow. And just color that in, dab, dab, dab. And we move on here shortly to the other brow. Yep, I guessed it right. There we go, the other brow. Now you have to be careful that you don't have one brow darker than the other brow, or you don't make a mistake, your hand slips and you create a unibrow. Not good look on a beautiful girl. That's Cro-Magnon men. We want 2 nicely shaped brows over the eyes. Now, perfect. Now we move on, And additionally, we're putting a third layer on those brows because we just didn't have it dark enough. So now we're going to darken it up just a little bit more, making sure each hair, each tiny hair is aligned with each other. Now we move on to the pink pencil. Now there's a lot of real estate here on my lips, so I begin coloring in very gently on the outside because if I'm not careful, I would use a ton of product on these lips because it's just acres of lip to cover. So be careful here, dabbing it in, making sure that outline of the lip is done appropriately, blow a kiss, and move on. So now, when you got chapped lips like I do, use the gloss. The gloss moisturizes, brings out a little pink color, and you've already outlined everything with that last little pencil. So now we have that all done and we move on to the eyelash. Very quickly, we've moved on from the eyelash. That's the most rapid process in this whole thing. And now we're back to the brush. And we love this little gold makeup thing. It's just the bomb. So now I pull my hair, a little posing for the camera, a little kissy blow, and hope you have a good day.